I know it's been a minute. I know it's been a minute. Yo, hold on. Wait, my camera's so zoomed out. What the fuck? That's a little better. Welcome back to Big T. I know it's been a minute. It's been kind of a minute since, I picked up the YouTube. But, I wouldn't consider this an official return. I just feel like I have some obligations to do. So you may be reading the title and you're like, what the fuck? That's right. This is Big T Book Club. Today's book that we're reading is a book I've been recommended by Instagram. And it's called, y'all can kind of read that for yourself, When the, catches feelings. By Jessica Watkins. What a book. Amazon 3,000 reviews, 4.7 stars. This is her on the back. She kind of bad. Yeah, let me read you a little bit of what this book's about. I've not picked up a book and genuinely read it in maybe 5 years. Not even in English class, not even in anything. Every English essay I've ever done on a book, I've done the same book for every single fucking year. I've recycled. I'm sorry. I'll say what I say. But yeah, this is a big book. This is a 320 page book. Very nice condition. Look at this. This is a lot of pages, a lot of thoughts into this. This is part 1 of 2. I'll let y'all kind of digest the cover a little bit. I'll leave a link in the description to the book in case you want to follow along with me. But I'm excited, obviously, on some real shit, I bought this book because it's funny. When you think of a book, you don't think of this. But this is a real book. I thought it wasn't. I really thought it wasn't. I thought it was a fake book. But it's a real book. I can't really disclose to you what the title is, but I can say, when someone from the side catches feelings. So first page, we got the synopsis, which, usually would be on the back, but I guess you just want to put a picture of herself. So I'll read it for y'all, get comfortable. This is going to be right. I'm going to get comfortable. When the person from the side catches feelings is a story of 2 women who are unfaithful for 2 totally different reasons, yet wind up with the same catastrophic outcome. Meet Heaven, a young girl who is loving, submissive, and beyond appreciative of her husband, Ross. As a teenager, Heaven lived solely for her sister, Divine, and her daughter, Sunshine. These are some weird names, bro. Okay, I'm sorry. Because her mother is mentally ill and her father ran off, Heaven had to do some unimaginable things to feed the family. Then came Ross, and everything changed. He wasn't some filthy rich dope boy that some young girls dream of, but Heaven felt like Ross was her blessing. Yet Ross turned out to be a wolf wrapped, decadently in sheep's clothing. Still, Heaven was waiting to take the bad just to keep the... Still, Heaven was willing to take the bad just to keep the good. The drama was all worth it for the luxuries of food, clothes, and shelter. Not just for herself, more so for Divine and Sunshine. And then there's Treasure, which is a name, by the way. Treasure is a name. How is it that a woman can have such a good man and still not be satisfied? Treasure is far from as submissive as her best friend Heaven. As a teenager, Treasure has always been the type of girl to juggle 2 or 3 boys. Once she was older and met a real man, Vegas, she tried to commit. Oh, commit into a relationship. I thought she meant kill herself. All of that went out the window, though, when she met the one that allowed her to be the ride-or-die chick that she's always been fantasizing about being. Treasure isn't the only promiscuous woman in the story, however, because Heaven eventually succumbs to the wooing of a man that wants to treat her far better than her ain't-shit husband. She knows that Ross deserves her infidelity. He has never been loyal or faithful to her. However, one thing that he has never done is cheat on Heaven with someone in their circle. In this tale of lust, lies, and mayhem, Heaven fights with the feelings that she has for her side dude, while Treasure basks in her. That is until all hell breaks loose. The two side dudes that Heaven and Treasure have fallen for pretended as if they could play second to another man until their feelings got in the way. Then egos clash, bonds are broken, and with two beasts like Vegas and Ross, a life is lost in this group's tight-knit circle, all because these ladies chose wrong. That was one page. That wasn't even a page. That was the synopsis. Holy shit. This is a work of fiction, by the way, in case y'all were wondering. So, I'm going to read a little bit faster. You know, when it comes to actual pages, I just wanted to fully digest what the fuck I just read. Alright, let's go. We're in the prologue. Treasure. So this is from Treasure's perspective. I couldn't sit in the house. I needed Vegas, but he wasn't answering the phone. I've driven by every spot where I thought he could be, but I didn't find him, so I gave up. I called Heaven over and over again, but she wasn't answering. I couldn't go home, so I was on my way to her house since I knew she was the last... So I was on my way to her house since I knew she was home the last time I talked to her. I gasped when I pulled onto Heaven's Walk and saw police cars and ambulances surrounding her house. Oh my god! I pressed the gas and sped towards the house, but I could only get so close because the police had a portion of the street barricaded. I threw my car into park and bolted towards the house. The commotion has drawn neighbors out of their house. I had to push my way through the crowd to get as close to the house as I could. The house was illuminated with red and blue lights. I watched in fear as police officers walked in back and forth. My fear was magnified to horror when I saw the yellow tape enclosing the backyard. A scream suddenly left my throat and pierced the air. I now had everyone's attention. I ran past the blue barricade towards the driveway, but was quickly stopped by a police officer. Let me go! Let me go! What happened? Tell me what... I suddenly stopped when I saw Vegas watching me. He was talking to an officer a few feet away from me. I ran towards him. What happened? He barely looked at me. Vegas, please, I begged. Oh no, that's what she said. I'm sorry. Vegas, please, I begged. What happened? He grimaced over and told me reluctantly. I'm trying to see myself. I came over here to holler at Ross, and all this was happening. Fuck is you doing here, motherfucker? Ross's voice suddenly shouted behind us. I spun around, hoping that Heaven was with him, but she wasn't. Ross was being escorted out of the house alone by an officer. He charged through the lawn towards Vegas, spewing, "Get the fuck away from my house, bitch." Ross, what happened? Where is Heaven? I asked. He didn't hear me. He just kept spazzing out. Your bitch ass tried to kill me, and you got the nerve to be in my house? Fuck all y'all and y'all snake motherfuckers. He was barking like a fucking maniac. Ross, I tried to go to him, but the police officer near me stopped me. I looked at her pleading. Please, my best friend is in there. She's like my sister, please, I cried as I zeroed in on the yellow tape behind her. What happened? I asked the officer. Did someone get killed? I didn't need her answer. I knew that someone was dead. I knew what yellow tape meant. The officer actually looked so sympathetic for my tears. Her mouth opened and closed repeatedly. My eyes begged her for an answer, just as I could see paramedics coming out of the backyard. My knees buckled as I saw a black body bag. The officers caught me. I gripped her arms, trying to gain my composure. I looked for Ross, hoping to get an answer from him. But both he and Vegas were frozen. Ross's anger subsided as they both stared unbelievably at the body that carried towards the morgue van. Through my tears, I looked desperately at the officer holding me. Please tell me, I begged. Who is it? Who got killed? God damn. So, we're starting off very strong. That was literally only this and this. Which, I'm kind of a slow reader, but I really want you guys to digest what we're here. So basically, we're from Treasure's point of view. This is a prologue, so it kind of got me all confused. But I'm guessing this is going to jump back and forth between the two characters. We got chapter 1 right here from Heaven's point of view. So we're switching from treasure to heaven. Alright, so this chapter starts with some singing from the Migos song One Time. This party is so lit! My best friend Treasure squealed into my ear. She was leaning over into my bar stool, twerking with her hand in the air and her tongue out. She was all the way turned up. Yo, I know, right? Looking around, I saw that this party was more than lit. This motherfucker was cracking. What am I reading? Treasure and I had snuck ourselves into 7-Eleven. Treasure and I have snuck ourselves into 7, this club in downtown Chicago that cracked on Friday nights. Yeah, of course this is in Chicago. It was especially cracking this particular Friday night because this well-known baller from the city, Gotti, was having his birthday party there. Treasure and I have seen the flyer all over social media for the last 2 months. All of the senior chicks were talking about sneaking in because they wanted to go meet some dudes with money. Damn, this book really doesn't hold back. Treasure and I have managed to get in by dressing in little bitty dresses that are overly matured bodies spilled out. I can't read this, bro. Once we got to the front of the line, those bouncers didn't even ask for an ID. And these dudes in here are fine, Treasure sang. She swayed back and forth, swinging her long 20-inch, soft-swept ponytail. Ain't they? I agreed as I smiled, looking around. Treasure is right. 7 was full of Chicago-bred hustlers who looked like Common and Kanye to King Louis, G Herbo, and Little Durk. They were draped in locks, diamond-encrusted chains, and rollies. They smelled of good kush. At this moment, I was eyeballing a few sexy guys who were too busy looking at bad bitches to even come near me. I looked over and spoke into Treasure's ears. You think these dudes can tell how young I am? Still dancing, Treasure shook her head. Nah. So I look 21? She frowned and laughed. Hell no, I didn't say that. I pouted but still laughed. Fuck you, friend. You don't look 17 though. You don't look 17 though. Thumb ass and titties look 21. But that baby face gives you away. Those bouncers just wanted to hit that. That's why they'd let you in. I giggled. She was probably right. What the fuck? While Treasure had a mature, exotic face, mine still gave off that young, innocent look, no matter how much of Treasure's makeup I put on. I kept twerking on my bar stool to the Migos, enjoying being out for the first time in I don't know how long. I was also watching the clock because I had to be back home no later than midnight, even though it was a Friday night. I watched with a smirk on my face as Treasure made eye contact with a few dudes as she smiled, licked her lips, and twerked. When she caught me staring, her smile got bigger. I'm about to bag one of these ballers in here, girl. I shook my head with a smile of admiration. Treasure has always been the one between us who got the guys. While I was struggling to keep a good dude, Treasure was taking guys down left and right. A lot of girls in my school called her a hoe, but since I was her best friend, I knew that her mind just worked like one of the guys. While a lot of girls in the school were thirsty for a boyfriend, Treasure was happy with juggling one dude after the next, with no commitment to either of them. She was allergic to commitment. Hey, Miss Lady, can I buy you a drink? I could feel the baritone voice tickling my neck as a guy spoke to me. I smiled with relief as his voice eased into my ear. When I'd first walked through the club, I didn't feel like any guys would holler at me. Even though Treasure has loaned me one of her dresses and some makeup, my weave was cheap, store-bought, and self-installed. All of these other chicks were rocking foreign lace fronts or royal, natural looks. Every girl in there had a professionally beat brows and face painted with MAC. I never had makeup to play in, so I had done what I could with Treasure's Walgreen brand collection. Looking at their faces clearly, my attempt to beat my face has failed. From the neck down, I was cold. My body was voluptuous and so naturally curvy that guys got dizzy looking at it. But from the neck up, I was struggling like a moth. A motherfucker. If it wasn't for my cute baby face and grown woman curls, I would have been popped. Holy fuck. However, I put on my best sultry smile as I could muster and turn around. I found the most mature brown eyes staring back at me with a bit of twinkle in them. He was handsome, but I was kind of let down because he looked older. I mean, I was looking to meet an older guy who had more going on for himself than the boys at my school. But this dude looked way older than 21. How old are you? Oh no, sorry. How old are you? I asked. There was a squint in my eyes that told him I knew he was questionable. His smile was so adorable as he pretended to clutch his chest. Damn! Is it an age requirement to buy a lady a drink in this motherfucker? I blushed. No, sorry. I just wanted to know. You look too old for me. Ain't it rude to ask a man his age? I blushed in an attempt to tease me. I think it was actually rude to ask a woman her age. He stepped closer, closing the space between us. He was so close that I could smell his earthly fresh cologne. With a quick glance up and down my body, he licked his full lips and then asked, well, since you're being rude, I'll be rude too. How old are you? You first, I teased. 25. Damn, 21 was my limit, since I was turning 18 soon. I cringed inwardly while our eyes locked. Despite him being obviously much older than me, it wasn't something about him that made me look past all of that to see how sexy he was. He was just as chocolate as me. Despite being about 5'10" in these 4-inch heels I was wearing, I still had to look up at him. He had a thick athletic build. He was wrapped in a fitted tee and jeans. He looked like money. So I let the age thing go. Besides, I never expected to see him again after that night anyways. So I figured, what could be the harm? Sure, you can buy me a drink. Stroking his neatly lined beard, he shook his head. Nah, little mama. Your turn. Then I'll buy you a drink. I rolled my eyes, appearing annoyed. But he knew I was pretending by the playful smile on my face. I'm 21. He nodded and then licked his lips very slowly this time as he looked me up and down yet again. His stare was so intense that I felt insecure under his eyesight. Tell the bartender what you want. He then glanced over and saw Treasure leaning against the bar while smiling at our conversation. He looked back at me with a chuckle. This yo girl? I playfully smirked at Treasure's nosiness and nodded at her. Yeah? Get her one too, then. So, I don't think there's going to be any page in this book that's normal. All I read was, this, and then this, and then this. I'm going to stop there at page 6. I know we didn't really establish much, but I got kind of choked up reading this a little bit. And so I kind of have to, like, next episode, I'll go by faster. I'll go through. But, this dude does look like money, though. I'm not gonna lie to you. But yeah, reading a book. Real quick, I just wanted to talk about if I'm going to come back. If anyone fucking cares. In reality, I don't know. I'm kind of just doing this for the shits and gigs. I told my friend I would buy this book if the Lakers won, and they did. So, I just want to have some fun with it, But, we'll see. Thank y'all for watching. If you guys enjoyed, you already know what to do. And I will catch y'all in the next one. Y'all take it easy.